Captain Randhawa, first up, to use another expert who was on our show a few minutes back, mentioned that this fuel control cutoff has to be a manual intervention. It cannot be, triggered otherwise. But this report says there was also a conversation between both pilots. One asks the other, why did you cut off? The other says, I did not do anything, indicating perhaps that at least prima facie, that there was no intervention on their end when the plane was already on the tarmac. What do you make of the details that you're getting in, Captain Randhawa, this morning?
You see, first and foremost thing, I would like to tell you that the fuel control switches, firstly, they're gated and they have guards on the side. The second part is that the switch, the fuel control switch, has to be pulled out and then put it to run. Similarly, if it has to be cut off, it has to be pulled up and then put it down to shut off. Now, this switch cannot be operated externally. It has to be done internally by a human interface. Point number one. Point number two, they have found the throttles to be in idle position. And the fuel control switches, as per the report, are to run. Now, this aircraft, first and foremost thing, few things are very clear, that the acceleration was normal. It was 5 tons below the limit of the aircraft. It had a V1 speed of 153 knots, and within 2 seconds it reached 155, which is the rotation speed. Aircraft rotated. It was not overweight at all. Temperatures were high, external temperatures 43, and they were on reduced thrust takeoff. So acceleration was normal, and aircraft unsticks and gets airborne at rotation speed. Now, after the aircraft gets airborne, I reiterate that there is a micro switch in the landing gear. When it extends, when it leaves the ground, the landing gear, it extends, the compression is off. That is the time the aircraft transits from ground mode to air mode. Now, within 4 seconds, after liftoff, these switches have been recycled, which is very, very intriguing. That how did it happen? It is too early a stage.
But Captain Randhawa, it leads to that kind of speculation when almost every expert is basically indicating that there is a manual intervention. Why would a pilot actually move from run to cut off when you have pilot number 2 basically?
Unless both the engines are flamed out.
So this is a response.
That is the only condition the
Are you saying that from run to cut off? Are you saying from run to cut off, this is after the engines were basically not responding? Is that correct?
Maybe, because the DFDR can only actually tell you that what actually happened moment the aircraft lifted off. Those 4 seconds.
What is it that we don't? From this report, what are the unanswered questions right now, Captain Randhawa? Because you have flown.
Unanswered questions are moment the aircraft has lifted off. Were the engines running after the liftoff, or they were not running? Point number one, it is not clear from the report. Now, if there is no action by the pilot and the switches have moved to cut off and run, I do not know how it is possible. It is not at all possible that without a human interface, that thing can happen. Now, both pilots, the CVR transcript says that they have not done it. Now, this is a contrary to what actually happens in the cockpit.
Okay.
I haven't heard of today a single case where the fuel control switches have moved automatically to run and cut off.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead,
yes,
sir. Go ahead. Sorry, make your point.
So the point is, within 4 seconds, what has transpired that the pilots have done it
So
they have
that's a very important.
because the actions by the pilot in case of a twin engine, both engine flame out, is to cut off the switches and run to ensure that the EEC, the engine electronic engine control, is reset, and one engine has started picking up. The second one is still in the decelerating mode. So when this action has been done, then the engines have, one engine has started picking up. So it is not clear from the report and from the DFDR, which they will, in due course, they will be analyzing the DFDR in detail and corroborating with the other evidences available. Because this is very crucial, that what happened moment the aircraft lifted off till 4 seconds, till that when they found that the switches have been recycled.
Yeah.
That's an important question.
So you say
No
that it's the
pilot-
mystery of 4 seconds? Is the mystery of 4 seconds that's not answered in this particular report? Because one thing is clear, that the engines, because this report says that the engines were not operating, because immediately after the takeoff, the kind of thrust that it needs, it wasn't getting. It also makes a mention of the fact that there was a partial recovery of engine 1, but engine 2 did not recover. So it's very clear that the engines were not operating.
Yes. Why were they not operating?